chiefs, them Tuscaloosa dudes, them chiefs, right? They would sit there and drink with you because they had high tolerance. And if people tell you we didn't have alcohol before the Europeans came, ask them what was the alcohol enemas the Mayans used to take. Ask them about that, right? Because the alcohol enema is to get you drunk as fast as possible, as sloppy as you can get.
A shot, like a shot.
Yeah. But you was only sending it up the wrong end because your anus and your lower intestine absorb alcohol faster than your mouth and your upper intestine. You had to build up a tolerance for alcohol to withstand the drink champs without them tricking you out of the information. Also, the sweat lodges in marijuana. You can't smoke marijuana with certain chiefs and lie to them because you're going to tell on yourself. It's going to naturally make you tell on yourself. It's going to come out. And that's why they wouldn't negotiate with most of the settlers that didn't smoke the peace pipe with them, because they couldn't get past that human lie detector once they did.
Hey, so that brings me to my next question, Rod. I noticed like a lot of cats when we used to be back in the day, when they used to be like putting plays on people, taking them out. They can't hold it. They can't hold, like, if you got very few cats that can go do a cat and come back, sit down, drink a cup of coffee, and play like ain't nothing happened. Usually, the spirit of that person, especially if you killed them out of a bad, most people go tell somebody. A lot of people end up coming to, even if they don't tell the police, they usually tell somebody they close to. Hey man, I had to go on here and do what I had to do. Why is that? Why do they have to confess that crime? Why do a lot of murderers confess?
Because once you confess, you free it from locking into your conscience. The same self-accusing spirit that tells you it was wrong to kill that man because you was sleeping with his wife and he caught you, is the same spirit that's going to make you tell somebody, because you're going to hold yourself accountable one way or another. That self-accusing spirit, this is what the confessional was for. The confessional of the Catholic Church was created for the soldiers coming back from war to tell the priests all of the dirt they did during the time of war. How many women did you rape? How many children did you kill? How many men did you sodomize? How many of them did you decapitate? Right? That was the purpose of the confessional. Because a long time ago, the Catholic Church discovered that if you can give somebody the ability to tell it to somebody without it getting out and them being persecuted or prosecuted for it, then that'll allow your mercenaries to be able to kill more ruthlessly and more freely at your request. That was just all part of the nature of the human, because we naturally programmed to do good. So we have to go through an inner dialogue of making ourselves say for us to do what's not good.
Rod, that's so true. I read that in the psychology book one time in college about how the cognitive, how that works, how that you will tell themselves into a certain amount of times after they do it. Like another person explained it like this: it's like you got a voice in your head that's loud, and when that voice say don't do that, and then you do it anyway, right? And then you keep doing it till that voice just comes lower and lower and lower until the voice it ain't even saying it no more. It ain't saying don't do it. That's wrong. Go ahead.
Because that's they talking about your conscience, your internal guide to tell you how to treat people and how people should be treating you. If you don't know how to treat people, then you don't know how people supposed to understand how to treat you. The better you treat people, the better people treat you, right? And most of us, because so many people have been treated wrong, hurt people, right? So now they freely hurt each other, and there's a way of venting the pain by giving it to somebody else. It's contagion and aberration. You can read about that in Dianetics.
That brings me to my next question. So when people, cause you got narcissists, a lot of people talk about narcissists. Narcissists like to blame other people for their moral f ups, should I say? And so
that's not what narcissists.
break that down. I might be saying that wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah. So a narcissist is very rare. A real true narcissist. The psychological description of a narcissist is what they call an amoral personality type. That means that the stuff that regular people would consider as a moral don't do, that they don't have an inner dialogue that tells them not to do it. Serial killers, serial rapists, those are narcissists, or sociopaths is a more direct term. Because of some of the traits of the narcissist is so repugnant that they've attached it to the discussion of relationship counterparts of a person that's difficult for you to manipulate, right? But they find it easy to manipulate you, so you will call them a narcissist, never knowing that you're more likely to be the narcissist for calling them that than them. Narcissists is few and far between, and it's an exceptional psychological condition.
Pretty much it take one to know one, huh, Rod?
Hey.
Hey, that's crazy. Hold on, all right, so Rod, the next thing I got for you is moral is dealing with morals. Now, to a father that's raising a daughter, and she coming to dating men. What are the morals that a dad, without going outside of the step? Because some dads are overprotective. They're gonna take the guy in the back, show him they 50 cal hand pistol, bust it off a couple times. So what are the moral constructs or the line, the lines that they should cross, or and what they should be looking at being for somebody dating their daughter?
So considering, let's just say that there's a good man that's trying to raise his daughter to be a good woman. And let's just make him be a single father for the point of this discussion. So he's a single father, good man that's trying to raise his daughter to be a good woman. He shouldn't have a dilemma when she picks somebody if he raised her with a couple of key points in mind. I'm your daddy. I'm going to show you how a man supposed to treat you. Right? And it's only so far that I can go teaching you this, but what the foundation that I lay should allow you to be able to pick a man of good character and good quality. And if he teach her that and he stand on everything that he telling her, she gonna pick a dude so similar to him, he can't do nothing but respect him. But the average person doesn't understand the etiquette of instilling values into your child. Instilling values into your child takes away the need for the system to train your child. And so we have daddy-daughter dance and date night where you teach her how the father teach the daughter how she's supposed to be treated when she go out. So if a man don't do these basic things and he giving her step-by-step instructions all throughout the day, this is why I'm showing you this. This is why I'm teaching you this. By the time she get to be a teenager, first of all, her mind not going to be on boys like that, because she's enjoying the learning experience of being around her dad to the point she's not interested. And she 9 out of 10 going to be teaching her friends the stuff that her father teach her, especially the girls that don't got a daddy. Right? I can call my daughter up right now. I was locked up, and I used to write her all the time and call her on the phone all the time and talk to her. And her mama was a good facilitator of that. And anyway, She'll tell you, she said, I got all my friends grew up with their daddy in prison like you. And I don't got no daddy issues. I know my daddy loved me, and I know how I'm supposed to be treated. Right? Like she still go over the letters that I used to write her when she was 7, 8 years old. Right? And then she come back and she say, Dad, I didn't know that you told me that. And that's why I be doing this like this and moving like that. Yeah. Because I was giving you the game the whole time.
The whole time.
But so most of what we have now is the alienation of fathers, which cripples the relationship understanding of boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the relationship between the parents don't work, both parents are supposed to be interested in maintaining the birth child's relationship with the other birth parent. When that break down, being the village, normally it used to be in our community, it was the grandmama on both sides, the mama on both sides, and then the ones who had the baby together. And then they probably have an aunt or two on both sides, and they evaluate both parents. And then they'll say, well, based on the character of that child and the way that y'all both handle them, the parent that should have them the most is this parent because the child responds to their methods better.
Uh-huh.
The child is less stressful for this parent than for that parent. Whatever the situation is, we didn't go to something called family court.
Right.
Family court is not mentioned anywhere in the United States Constitution one time. It's not in there.
Wow.
When all of a sudden they decide they need family court. Family court is part of the Social Security Administration and Social Security Acts that created what they call family court and divorce court. We didn't have divorce court because we had parents wealthy or parents in poverty didn't matter. If the one who couldn't afford to raise the children wanted to leave, it's fine, but you got to leave the children with the one who can afford to raise them. Mm-hmm. And that don't just mean financially either.
Hey, Rod, my next question for you is dealing with morals and the human paradigm. Now, a lot of people say they are a product of their own environment, meaning, they parents was a gangster, they gang bang, everybody gang bang. My grandpa gang bang. Everybody gang banging. So
family tradition.
Go ahead.
It's family tradition. So look, in a lot of the product of the environment is the village raising the child. This is where the concept comes from. But the village is not allowed to raise the child anymore. When I was a little boy, I'm subject to get 7 ass whoopings on my way home. The old lady that stopped me from doing the foolishness I was doing gonna whoop my ass. She gonna call my mama gonna send my sister to get me, she gonna whoop my ass. And don't let my other sister be with her because she gonna whoop my ass too. Then when I get home, my mama gonna whoop my ass. So then if my mama tell dad about it, if it's bad enough, he gonna whoop my ass. So I'm gonna have a well-whooped ass about doing certain stuff I know I'm not supposed to be doing. The village just raised that child, corrected the error. The old way that we used to correct errors didn't have anything to do with prison. It didn't have anything to do with county lockup. All those are carryovers from the wartime era that they call slavery.
I remember I got a whooping just for being with somebody. My brother was stealing. I wasn't even stealing. I got a whooping just for being with him. Mm-hmm. You should have said something, man. I didn't know he was stealing.
Look, my mama say the stealer is bad as the stealer. If you go somewhere with somebody and they stealing, whether you want to be in it or not, you in it now.
Hey, my grandma said if he'll steal, he'll kill. He'll kill. That's that plays into the morals. Yeah. Well, one thing stimulates the next. To who he talks about that, about chain reaction. Now, yeah. Could there be a chain reaction where when you do one thing you don't want to do, it forces you to do another?
It's not really a chain reaction, but it's a systematic process of disassociation is the scientific term. You become indifferent from doing dirt. Like it don't bother you no more. You didn't got used to it. It's just like the boys that grow up in the country in the South. They go out there, they shoot that deer with that bow or with that rifle, drag him over there to that tree, hang him up, gut that sucker, skin him, and the city slicker will be throwing up. Right?
Yeah.
But to the country boy, this is just another part of life. He might be, Big Mom might say, go out there and ring me for them chickens, boy. If you ain't from down there, you don't know she just told you to go snap 4 chicken necks and bring her 4 chicken corpses.
Yeah. And that's a workout, boy. That's a real workout.
But because they do that, it desensitizes them from doing it again because it's a natural order of survival. This is part of life that we have to endure.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah, so, now this is the thing, because Big Mama wasn't a holy roller. She had the boot. Some Big Mama had the bootleg. Big Mama did whatever she had to do to feed 25 kids. Some of them wanted her kids. Go ahead.
We didn't have foster homes. We didn't have juvenile detention centers. We didn't have friend of the court. We didn't have DFSH, whatever the hell they call DCSH, the Department of Child and Family Services, DCFS. Anyway, we didn't have none of that. If something happened to one of the family members and their child was left without them, that child either go with the other parent or go with the grandparents. The 9 out of 10, they end up at Big Mama house. So Big Mama was subject to have 50 kids in her front yard on any given day. And she got to feed them kids. So Big Mama would draft the uncles to do stuff to make sure they could feed the kids. When the colonizers came, we used to be able to go hunt, come back, prep whatever we hunted to feed the babies, right? But when the colonizer came, we couldn't get caught out there hunting unless we had something called free papers. Today, you call them a hunting license, a driver's license, a passport, right? Them free papers. Same thing.
You have to fish. You have to fish on your own on a lake that's supposed to be a lake that for everybody. You got to have a fishing license or the game warden. The gang warden, right? Tribal warden, pretty much. Tribal, like if you break that down, it sounds like somebody that's out to stop the tribes from doing their normal routine.
The whole gang warden thing came from tribes governing over hunting lands during the great buffalo hunts. The tribes would allow you to hunt out there on their land without their permission, or else they slaughter you. And this is why they start coming with. You ever see in the Western where they had the wagon trains in the circle, and then the so-called Indians be riding around the outside of the wagon train shooting arrows?
Yeah.
They was the law being enforced that you stepping on tribal territory without permission.
Uh-huh. They
showing it to you in the Westerns, but you thinking that the cowboy that they showing you is the good guy, and that the Indian shooting the arrows is the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
Yeah, the Whiter and Bat Masterson, they the ones that wipe out the buffaloes and the buffalo train and all that. Yeah, you already told us about that. And then the other part about them starving us out and the million heads of the two, what is it? They say it was like a million and some heads of buffalo piled up to
Listen, the buffalo herds used to reach all the way into Canada, all the way to Mexico.
Uh-huh.
We used to harvest them a couple hundred at a time, and it never dented the population. The population of the bison didn't become depleted until it started with the buffalo trains and the buffalo hunts, because they was trying to get a stronghold on the tribes. Because you gotta remember, the tribes used to dress up in animal pelts. The buffalo tribe that became known as buffalo soldiers, they used to literally walk among buffaloes with buffalo skins on. And the colonizer in a herd of 10,000 buffalo not going to see 200 soldiers. So they had to get rid of the buffalo. It wasn't just to starve us out. It was because they thought that the buffaloes used to literally turn into soldiers when it get dust dark.
Spirits. Hey, so Roy, what about the tribal? Man, I just forgot it. I had a good ass question. I just forgot it. But this the next one. Now, so the buffalo hunters, the buffalo soldiers. Then the next thing, what was their morals, man? Like, so because everybody's thinking that you, in order to have morals, you got to be religious. You got to be subscribed to Islam or some kind of religion to have morals. But the people, what kind of morals did these Christians that King James and them have to come do what they did to us, and they were Christians? What kind of morals is it?
So basically, morals is a code of personal conduct, a standard that you hold yourself that compels other people to give you love and respect for being who you are. The ones who lack the morals or the moral compass, so to speak, are the ones that'll do anything for you, to you, right? But won't do nothing for you. Those people are called amoral, but it has nothing to do with morality. They're just saying that they have no code that they're not willing to break to advance their selfish agenda on life.
That sounds like a carnivore. Carnivores versus herbivores. Carnivores got that type of mentality. They'll eat you. Hey, they'll eat their own people. And some carnivores will eat their own clan members.
Yeah, but cannibalism is rare in the animal world.
Yeah.
And in the human world. It's more prominent in the human arena than it is in the animal kingdom. Animals generally, even if like a pack of wolves come across a dead wolf now from their pack, odds is they're not going to eat them. But let them run across a dead bear. We got lunch.
Yeah.
Right? And that dead bear, or let the bear run across a dead wolf, he got lunch.
Yeah.
Right? The carnivore mentality is a homicidal mentality. Because they got to be willing to kill at a moment's notice to provide their next meal. Right? And when they turn it on their own species, right, when they start killing each other, then something is upset the balance of nature. Bears fight amongst each other for territory, but they don't just go looking to ride on another bear.
Yeah.
Because you can also see a whole bunch of bears during salmon season fishing out the same salmon hole. Right? So they can get along, but if it's mating season and this is this man's territory, his house, his front, back, side yard, whatever the case may be, and these is the females that he supposed to mate with, and you bring your bad ass over there, we're going to see exactly how bad your ass really is. We're going to get down. We're going to run that fade. That's why Cali is like that, because they adopted that. The totem animal for California is the bear.
Yeah.
The run the fade mentality is the bear mentality.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so the bear being the symbol for the state also show you the tribal frequency that the tribes in LA move from.
Makes sense.
Just like a lot of them Cali boys will run up and say the rudest thing to you, and they want you to say something rude back so they can goad you into the fade.
Yeah.
The bear does that in the natural habitat. In his natural habitat, the bear see you, he gonna make some noise. He gonna be on that rah, 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 rah. right? Barking like a dog, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because he letting you know you in my crib, you come over here and you want to talk that talk. We gonna see if you about that life.
Yeah.
Right? And this is why a lot of the tribes out there try to go back to basic tribal traditions like the check-in. The check-in is not for everybody. But let's say like me, I'm a GD from Chicago and Michigan, right?
Yeah.
If I go to Cali and I'm in rolling 60, rolling 20 territory, I'm supposed to make my presence known to the OG that's in charge.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I make my presence known to the OG in charge, he's supposed to supply me with some YGs. They call them ambassadors.
Uh-huh.
And they supposed to escort me around the land. So if somebody push up on me and be like, let's say a different Crip set pull up, what's up, cuz? Because they see me in my Duke Blue Devil shit, right? And then the Crips done with be like, this is a visitor. You know, the OG gave us the green light to give him the escort. And it was to keep the ones of us who ain't from the area from being taken advantage of not knowing the culture of the area. But since the entertainment industry been hijacked by people that ain't us, and they've been using the check-in as an extortion and robbery plot, and the tribes out there, or what they call in gangs, they don't like that because now when people come out there and you don't know somebody about to get their blood spilled on your territory, you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Right? So this is the ability to control your community is what it stems down to, what it boils down to. The area is reflective of the people.
Uh-huh.
The Chicago mentality not like the bear. I don't care if you Vice Lord or Stone, if you GD, BD, it's not like the bear. It's more like an animal that don't exist in the area no more called a lion. The lion don't go looking for no more, but you better believe if you run up on him with that drama, he gonna give it back to you just like you came to get it.
Right. My next question, I got another question for you, Rod. Now, like I used to hear people say, you either stand for something or you'll fall for anything.
Right.
Now, should you make friends with people? I mean, should you make friends with people that got different morals than you, or should you make friends with people that got the same morals as you?
You can make friends with all types of people. Making friends don't mean they're your friend. It just means that y'all met on a fair and balanced communication between the two of y'all. If y'all click, y'all click. It's just like when I started hanging out with Stones in Chicago, I started loving the way that their energy was, especially when they was around their family members. But they never one time told me to straighten my head up.
Yeah.
Right? Where I done been walking through Motown with folks and Stones running up on folks and say, hey, straighten your head up. My head just as cocked as his, but they don't say nothing to me.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't nothing about him being disrespectful or me not being disrespectful. It was about the energy. Right? They had seen me already and they had spoke to me in a different manner and I was respectful.
Yeah.
So when they seen me with the different folks that they knew, they didn't have the same dialogue, the same tribal communication. So they didn't give him a pass like they gave me a pass. Don't make me better than him.
Right.
It just make my training, my upbringing, my moral values my mama gave me. When she told me, when you respect people at home, they gonna love you like you family. But when you go to other people's house and you be disrespectful, they gonna treat you like your enemy.
Hey, Rod, my next question for you dealing with morals. Now, the other tape, on the tape, I said that if we listen to the people in front of us, meaning the old people, we'll get ahead. Or if we don't, we'll stay behind. Why could you break down for the young people that's listening? why is it sometimes would it be important to listen to the old folks to get ahead?
It's an old ancient proverb. It say the youth has the vigor, but the elder knows the way. Now, first thing I got to give a caveat because where we at right now, as a collective, the people in our community, a lot of our elders is batshit crazy, indoctrinated, and highly influenced to be agents of the matrix. Don't mean you love them any less. Don't make them less family. None of that. It just means you have to have the ability to discern which one of the elders you need to listen to and which one of the elders you need to hear them, shake your head, and do what the fuck you was going to do anyway. Right? All of the elders that we have right now, they not good elders. Some of them is a piece of shit. But then you got some with a heart of gold. You have to be able to distinguish that. But until they disrespect you, you're supposed to automatically respect your elders. But the understanding of that, at that point, this is where we at. The youth will listen to any one of the elders that shows them respect. When the youth start rebelling against the elders, it's because they're feeling disrespected by an elder. They don't normally be disrespectful, even if they're not taught etiquette and respect. They generally, because it's a group thing. It's in our DNA to be respectful to elders. But some of the people think because you're young that you dumb and full of cum and don't know nothing. Right? And they don't have any respect for you. And that makes a lot of the young guys fly off the handle and don't listen to the OGs. So the youth responsibility in dealing with the OGs is give them that respect. Let them go on about their business if they ain't talking about nothing to uplift you. And if they talking about something to uplift you, suck that book for every drop of game you can get before you let it go.
Now, for my young people that's coming up and they building morals. You know, some people got some things that they just not gonna do. You know, like it don't matter how much you offer them, it don't matter what you offer them, they just ain't gonna do it.
You remember the part?
What type of what would you say about that?
You remember the part in the Matrix, and they gave Neo the cat to put on the guillotine? It was also a scene, the same scene was in the Bruce Lee movie, Enter the Dragon, when the Hand Man wanted to put the cat on the guillotine. Right? Why is they showing you that? Both of them said the same thing. Everybody got to have a line they're not willing to cross. Because when you have no line you're not willing to cross, they're going to be easy to find somebody that's willing to cross you.
Wow. Say it again, Rod. That was deep.
When you don't have a line that you're not willing to cross, it's very easy to find people that's not hesitant to cross you out.
Wow. That's
that means if you would do anything, anybody can be the one that's going to do something to you.
Yeah, so people don't last that long with that type of mentality, dude.
No. But see, the moral code changes based on what part of society you're in.
That's right.
When you're in corporate America, you don't have the same etiquette and the same moral foundation that you do when you're on the block. In your neighborhood, you can have everybody on the block. You can go to anybody's house you want to because you know everybody in your neighborhood.
Right.
Right? But if a stranger come to your neighborhood, they can't just go to anybody's house. They don't know them people.
Right.
But there's a system of etiquette that you was taught growing up in that community where you can present an outsider, where people will know they're an outsider with honor and respect.
Yeah.
That's from knowing the different codes, the different moral standards at the different parts of the society. And that's what make a lot of us clash trying to go straight because the etiquette sometimes is different. Some of us get to corporate America and look at the level of ass kissing and get sick to our stomach. Some of us work on the factory floors and see the level of ass kissing and get sick to our stomach. Right? So at some point, you got to have your own code to live by. We was fortunate because Larry gave us the code growth and development, and our history writer, our tribal grid, what's his name? Don Dirk. Don Dirk was a literature writer for growth and development for BGDN. And it was from that literature that gave us a set of values to follow to make us be able to go from the projects to the penthouse and be able to make a stop at every level in between without missing the beat. If Larry don't give us the literature, we just be gangbangers.
Right.
But the literature means that we need to be intelligent. If the leader needs intelligent soldiers, some of the soldiers understand the assignment. They pick up the philosophy of brain banging and they dispense with the philosophy of gang banging. The original purpose of gang banging was what they call insulating the tribe or reconstructing the tribe. The ability to prove your value in a fist fight. Right? They show you in a lot of the movies where you have a leader and he be beefing with another leader and they say, pick your champion. And then they make them fight. Well, that's tribal tradition over here.
That's right.
Pick your champion.
That's right.
Right? And a lot of these OGs that we talking about had them hands.
Right.
We didn't start resorting to gunplay until the police started shooting us in the back.
That's
when
right.
the police started shooting us in the back, we started shooting each other in the front.
Oh, man. Say it again, right?
When the police started shooting us in the back, we started shooting each other in the front.
Man, that's cold. That's a cold piece right there. That's a cold piece. They started shooting us in the back, so we started shooting in the front. God, oh boy, that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow right there.
If that ain't caught in the crossfire, I don't know what is.
Man, God. We shooting at us and they shooting at us.
Look, they sending their soldiers to basic training and tours overseas to be seasoned for war. Where we send ours?
Right.
If the system is training a group of soldiers and guys are looking at the situation and she's saying, ain't none of my babies being trained to fight war. They're not being trained in the art, science, and skills of warfare. How am I going to train them? Right? So now you have to let the enemy run his course for a while because he going to create the conditions where your soldiers are going to train themselves. They going to weed out the weak and they going to establish an army of the strong at the end of the day. If you go back, the minister did a lecture where he was telling the so-called gangs, y'all are God's army. Let that sink in for me. Farrakhan is telling the gangs in LA, Chicago, Milwaukee, New York, Baltimore, Boston, Atlanta, Miami, New Orleans. He's telling them, as soon as y'all stop fighting each other, y'all gonna be required to be God's army. Right? This is because all of the tribes, we didn't have basic training and tours of duty. We had gang banging and thugging on the block. While they was going through fire drill exercises, we was drilling firing squads running up the block with drill music. And for everything they did, we prepared ourselves unconsciously. Now, once we become conscious that we are prepared to fight hand-to-hand combat, small arms combat all across the land, we prepare. Nature has forced us to prepare ourselves by allowing the enemy to turn us against each other, and we became our own military crash dummy practice spots.
Damn. Hey, Rod. So I noticed in different religions they have different morals. Like, and it's Islam. They say if somebody put their hands on you or try to hurt you, you got the right to turn back on them and take off on them, or pretty much finish them off. But in Christianity, they say if somebody hits you, I don't know if all Christians take that literally, but if somebody hits you, you got to give them the other side. What type of morals is that? If somebody put their hands on you, I was taught, my grandma ain't never told me. My grandma said if somebody put their hands on you, and if they bigger, pick a brick and go and take them out. My grandma said pick a brick up, take them out. Hey, right? But
my mother told me if somebody hit you, you hit their ass back.
Huh? Go ahead.
My mother said if somebody hit you, you hit their ass back. Right? She said, no, let me hear about you running home talking about some kid was bullying you. If he bullying you, punch him in his nose. He'll stop. So my mama didn't raise me on no turn the other cheek philosophy. She believed in most of the Christian jargon, but she did not believe in allowing a person to abuse you and misuse you. Right? She say nothing wrong with being used. That just means you're useful. But when people misuse you, they use you for other than your intended purpose. They use you to fight their battles because they're too scared to fight their own. That's misuse. If they need help because the battle they fighting is an overwhelming battle, then ain't nothing wrong with asking somebody for help. But what's wrong is for you to go start some shit, and then when it hit the fan, you ain't nowhere to be found, and you done left your crew to carry the shit you started.
That's real stuff. I was just talking about that on the tape I just did about how they was using Operation Crash, and they were going around joining different gangs. And I believe they did it in Chicago too, to the disciples and everybody. They did it in Cali, and they would join the gang, shoot at somebody, and then disappear. Then now this gang in a 60-year shootout with each other.
Yeah. Well, we caught them after the so-called Rodney King riots. They got caught because there was a unity barbecue that a Crip set was holding, and the law enforcement was unaware. And they sent some undercover agents. They had a couple of FBI agents, a couple of gang task force agents, and a DEA agent. And they dressed up like Bloods from the set that they used to be beefing with. And they went over there to shoot up the barbecue because they thought it was all Crips. And when they called out the set, the Bloods who set they called out was at the barbecue.
Right.
So they told the Crips, fall back, we'll handle it. They lit the car up. Several of the people in the car got shot. And when the news reported on the people that got shot, it said several police officers got shot in the undercover sting operation.
I remember it.
That's how they reported it on the news. They didn't tell you that the undercover sting operation was to reignite the war between Bloods and Crips in L.A.
Yeah. They've been doing it. It's part of their warfare. So, hey, Rob, we will take. We got about. I'm gonna get one more question. Then we'll take some questions from the crowd. Okay. Now, this is my next question right here. The last question that I got that I'll take some from the crowd. Let's get back my notes because I had a good one. Okay, that was it. Concept of we already pretty much answered all of them. Really, I think morals, mother and son. Well, yeah, we already pretty much answered. Hey, we'll take questions from the crowd. It says, what about the hip hop police?
So the hip hop police is the continuation of COINTELPRO, and their purpose was to follow the rap artists around. They got into following rap artists because of something Tupac kept doing. Every time he go to a city, he want to meet the gang chief. He want to meet the dude who running this set on this area, because he was trying to establish tribal unity across the tribes before we continue slaughtering each other.
Right.
He was trying to get us unified. I'm gonna tell you somebody else who was a catalyst to the hip hop police, discovering that the artist was using the cover of traveling as an entertainer in order to make truce agreements with gang so-called leaders in the background, and that's E40. E40 been hooking up the chiefs behind the scenes his whole career, and that's why his career hasn't faltered. And sometimes I don't know what 40 Water be talking about. But his work with connecting the tribes behind the scenes, the only people that was doing that was Darkman, ODB, and Pac, and 40 to that magnitude. You had other artists too that was trying to make those connections, like Busy Bone. Now, most of us don't know Busy Bone is the chief of Ohio.
Tell him, Rod.
He the chief. All of the thugs, Bone Thugs and Hammy, all them dudes know Busy Bone is a real blood chief who is the heir to the territory known as Ohio.
Rod, they know, Rod. They got them records down in Kansas. They know who all the bloodline chiefs are on the land.